Now, as the year draws to a close, it's often time for reflection to see if we'd like to make changes to our lives.
Roy Leighton is the co-author of 101 Days to Make a Change, and he joins us now. Very good morning to you, Roy.
Good morning to you.
Before we get into how you can change your life for the positive in 3 months,
Sure.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your qualifications.
I suppose I've been working in change for about 30 years. My passion is education and making a change in terms of how children are educated, mainly because I had such an awful experience myself. But in order to subsidise that, I work a lot in industry, large organisations and organisations both in the UK, Europe and globally. And so what we've done with the book is like bring all of those sort of key points in a plan of action that can help individuals in their daily lives.
This was like a business module first.
It was more an educational module. It's based upon neuropsychology. So I won't go into the science of it now, but basically the structures of it absolutely mirror the development of healthy development of children's brains to become happy, mature individuals. Because one of the problems that we're finding in industry, the reason why industry likes this, is they realise they've given work to the wrong people. They've given people who are fantastically qualified but totally incompetent in their capacity to work with other people and manage change.
Why 101 days?
It's a good title. The publishers liked it. We could have put 3 months. We could have 3 months, but 101's got a bit of a ring to it. 3 months, from a brain point of view, you can really change and alter the shape of the brain in about 3 months.
Of course, there are hundreds of self-help books out there on the market, and they're always popular, especially in the new year. What's so different with this one? What's the, your key to making yourself a better person by March?
Well, I think the key to this is we've designed it, myself, Emma and Kristina, the co-authors, to fit in for the different kinds of personalities. You've got one person who would like to look at the science behind it, and okay, they can get that one. The other person would like just to dip into it and be inspired, because every day has a quote to inspire around a specific theme, a little explanation of why this is important for your life, and then an idea or an activity that you can apply. So it's ultimately practical, but it is not designed that if you don't go through 101 days, it's a waste of time. If you do the 101 days, it's absolutely fantastic, but it's also designed for those people just like to dip in.
So how do you start out? With anything, it needs a start, middle and of course an end, but starting can be sometimes the hardest thing to do.
It is. I mean, the structure for the 101 days is broken down to these 7 stages of development, and they can apply to your life, to your relationships, to your finances, everything. And the first stage is survival. You will only do something if it's going to help you. This is just basic fact. So we spend the first 10 days or so of the program looking at why on earth you'd like to make a change and really making sure that that's profound and embedded. Because a lot of people start with the New Year's resolutions, and within about 6 days it all goes horribly wrong. And then the next stage is about developing support within your family or your team or your tribe. That's hugely important. And then once you've got that support, focusing on yourself, what is it about you that you maybe need to change in terms of habits or processes? And then it gets a bit deeper. We'll look at a plan of action, and then innovation, something that's going to really excite you, and then sharing it with a wider group of people, and then time to reflect. And that process is very, very structured. And you can, at the end of the 101 days, you get to a point whereby you take a breath. Something will definitely have changed. Everyone that's gone through this process over the past 20 years has seen a significant change, myself included, because all the exercises. What
type of change? Give us some examples of what change has happened to people.
The key things that tend to impact people are relationships, and the idea of having a way in, as you said, a way in. How do you start that conversation? How do you find a way in to turn around and say, I need your help, or this is killing me, or I need to deal with a conflict? In a lot of organisations, people don't manage relationships particularly well. So there's some practical tips there. Other practical ways in terms of health, well-being. All of the authors, we all put ourselves through this process regularly. So I'm at the moment going through a process of change myself. I reached the age of 50 this year. I know it's remarkable.
Yeah, he's looking good on it.
I think so. So in the next 7 years, I'm retraining. So I trained originally in physical theatre as a performer, and so now I'm retraining as a Tai Chi instructor.
All right.
So the idea I can move into my old age physically fitter than I am now. So it's said, but that always goes through the same process. Really, what do I want to do? Do I have people around me to support me, and so on and so forth.
So this book works for you as well.
Yeah. I couldn't put anything to... Every single one of these exercises, myself and my colleagues have tried and tested. It's not a theoretical book, it's a practical book.
So are we dealing generally with a thought process? That's, how many times do you wake up and the first thought that's on your mind when you open your eyes is, when can I close them again?
Well, the very first exercise in the book manages that. It actually says, when you open your eyes and the first thing in the morning, do you consciously go into the habitual thing of going, oh, it's another day, or you stop there and you start to actively change your thinking. Now, the 4 elements of the book that run all the way through, one is the thinking. The next one is the emotional element. The next one is the physical, practical action. And then the 4th one is the intuitive and spiritual dynamic as well.
Okay.
So
I know you wanted us to pick a page.
Yeah, it's something that we do with everyone that we work with. We say, this is the intuitive stuff, kicking in and say, let's just see, if you just open a page anywhere and see what the quote, we won't read the whole 2 pages, what is a quote, what day is it, and what is a quote for you?
Well, there's a quote, okay, opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging.
So that section there just looks at, you know, sometimes we have ourselves lots of changes taken in our place which we don't feel totally in control of. I see that you may be with child. And the reality of that is, how are you going to manage this new dynamic? And that requires us to be open, not to try and control everything, but say, actually, sometimes I just need to let go a bit. And that section there is, for you, that's more about stop controlling and start engaging. What about you?
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time and I can't, so we'll have to do this off air, because I am looking forward to doing that. Yeah, we actually have run out of time. 101 Days to Make a Change. It's available now. It's a book that the co-authors use, so that's a recommendation in itself. So thank you very much for coming in to talk to us.
Pleasure for having me on our couch. Thank you.
Now, if you'd like to make a change in your life, we've some of Roy's books to give away. Just go onto our Facebook page for details.
And don't forget, if you've missed any of the programme, you can catch it online at tv3.ie/3player.
Coming up on the show tomorrow, A Christmas to Treasure. Author Emma Hannigan has just beaten cancer for an incredible 8th time. She'll be telling us how she hopes it'll be the last she will see of the disease and why you should never give up the fight.
But for now, the Midday Girls are up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 11. But before we go, we're going to play out today with Dance With Me from Sinead McNally, who we spoke to earlier on the show. Enjoy.
Fall from the sky, there'd still be you. And dreams are more beautiful when there is you. And every place you go, I want to go to. 'Cause I am much better when I'm with you. Take me back to where the borders meet. Watch the sunset trace the shadows of our feet. Dance with me tonight. Put your arms in mine and lose all sense of time. In the darkness we'll find our way back into the light. Whenever the light in my heart starts to fade,